After 10 years and two very brutal bear markets, I believe now's the time to take hold of your financial future and start educating yourself. Hi, I'm Joseph Gilbert, an institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California, and host of How to Invest in a New America, heard daily from 4 to 5 here on KSPA and KFSD. Unprecedented volatility has paralyzed investors. In fact, there are millions of investors just sitting on the sidelines watching as literally a parade of financial opportunities pass them by. For 27 years, I've been actively trading and advising both institutional and individual investors to my techno-fundamental approach. If you're having a tough time with the stock market and you need a new trading partner with some fresh ideas to help get you back on track, then call me at 888-668-9562 or log on at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. The number again is 888-668-9562 or howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Call me and let me help you get back on track. Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC.
This program does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Astor Broadcast Group, its employees, or sponsors.
The opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or advertisers of this station, and any investment advice given is for educational purposes only and may not be suitable for all investors. Joey Gilbert is a registered representative with Newport Coast Securities, Inc., a broker-dealer and a member of FINRA SIPC. This document should not be regarded as an offer to sell or as a solicitation of an offer to buy any securities. Specific recommendations can only be made upon request of the client after a full review of their suitability has been conducted by the investment representative. Risk tolerance, ability to withstand loss, diversification, and level of understanding are important factors in determining appropriate investments. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results.
And now, Newport Coast Securities is proud to present How to Invest in a New America with your host, institutional equity strategist, Joe Gilbert.
All right. Good afternoon. It's a great day for learning something new. I want all my listeners to repeat after me. Excuse me. Every day, in every way, we're getting better and better. All right, now didn't that feel good? Continuous improvement's what I believe in, and hopefully every day my listeners are learning more and more, all right? That's for sure. It's time for another session of How to Invest in a New America. Excuse me. I'm your host, Joseph Gilbert. Thanks for tuning in every day and sticking with me. I hope I'm teaching you some new things that can help you in your own battle for investment survival, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm an institutional equity strategist with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. I want to be clear. I believe clarity is very important. If my title confuses you, all right, if you're wondering what I do, if you're confused with my title, I'm a stock market strategist. I deal with institutional investors and individuals, hence institutional equity strategist. But let's be clear, okay? What does that mean? Well, I'm a full-service stockbroker. For 27 years, I've been trading for and advising both institutional investors as well as individuals. But I'm full service. Now, that doesn't mean my prices and fees are expensive, not at all. But it does mean I provide full service to my clients, all right? I do all my own research. I don't have any products to sell you. I work for a few very large hedge fund managers, providing them my research ideas, as well as my own general market directional analysis. And I execute their large orders for them, and for individuals, large and small, okay? But for individual accounts, I work with my clients, helping them to manage their accounts, guiding them in and out of the market, telling them which stocks that I think they should invest in, so when to buy, and more importantly, when to sell, all based on my own research. I personally believe in market timing. Now, I've used one method or system for 26 years now, and I found my system about 1 year after I became a broker. So 27 years I've been a broker, but 26 of them using one system. Market timing does work, friends. I don't believe in buy and hold unless it's working. And I never want to hold on to losses. I personally believe it's never worth holding stocks through a bear market. I've never really done that. I think it's a great way to go broke, okay? Little more history for you, okay, about Joe Gilbert. At my previous firm, my title was Senior Portfolio Manager and Chief Market Strategist for about 12 years. But just so I'm clear with everyone, right now I'm a full-service stockbroker. My wife Kay and I are both brokers. Although she does fee-based managed accounts and I do commission-based accounts, but she's my partner. She's also a registered principal and an investment advisor representative with Newport Coast Asset Management. So she handles managed discretionary accounts with no commission, just a fee based on the assets that's managed. All right, fee-based only with no commissions. But I've been with her for more than 30 years. She's been my wife for 27 years. Listeners, I plan to have her on the show soon. She's really got her hands full right now. She's trying to get her master's degree. But I want to give you some background on your new coach, okay? All right, so let's see, what else? Kay and I have 3 kids, a 24-year-old daughter, a 22-year-old son, and an extremely precious 11-year-old little girl. Kelly, if you're listening, I love you, baby. So like I said, my wife is studying for her master's degree right now. I'm very proud of her. She's one smart cookie. Anyways, I just wanted to give all my listeners a little history about Joe Gilbert. You know, I've done this show off and on for about 20 years in different times and places. Same title, How to Invest in a New America. That'll probably be the title of my book when it's done, but that's a whole nother show altogether. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a call-in talk show. The lines are open. If you have a question, the number to call is 866-584-3434. Again, 866-584-3434. So how's the market treating you guys so far this year? It's been a tricky market for sure, but be honest with yourself, friends. Are you really happy with your performance so far in 2013? Are you happy with what you did last year? Well, if the answer is no, Joe, I'm not happy with my battlefield performance, then this is my advice. So listen up, friends. It's really important that you study what you're doing in the market, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's really important that you study what you're doing in the market. Study what you're doing right, and most importantly, what you're doing wrong, okay? Post-analysis, this is one of the most painful things to do. It's never any fun reliving the painful experience of losing money in the market, right? It's so painful. Look at your mistakes. That's a given. Therefore, most people, and when I say most people, I mean 95% of all investors fail at doing post-analysis. They never study what they're doing. They don't study what they're doing right, and they certainly don't study what they're doing wrong. Now, making lots of mistakes is just part of being an investor in the stock market. We all make plenty of mistakes. I do, you do, we all do. Even the best pros do, friends. If you don't learn from your mistakes in the market, well, it's safe to say that it's going to cost you. That's right, more tuitions to that great University of Wall Street. Listen, if you think you're so smart, if you have a high IQ and an Ivy League education, it doesn't matter. The market doesn't care. Okay, the market doesn't, it doesn't matter how smart you are. The fact is, you're not going to be right all the time. So get used to it. You're going to make plenty of mistakes. It's absolutely normal. Now, if you think you're going to be right all the time, then this market's going to teach you all about a pie that we all hate eating. You guessed it, the old humble pie. Listen up, friends. If you think you're going to be right all the time in the stock market, then the market's going to take all the excess pride and ego you have and whittle it down to nothing, okay? So I just want to be clear. We all make mistakes. It's a normal part of the process. The goal is not to be right all the time, okay? The goal is to make big money when you're right and to lose the least amount possible when you're wrong, all right? So cut the losses quickly while they're very small and manageable. So today I want to discuss some rules with you. When you get into the battlefield of the stock market, you must operate with rules, period. If you don't have a rule for something, quite simply, it's going to cost you. So let's talk about some rules today that can help you have better performance. Let me just say this, okay? The rules I'm going to give you today, they aren't based on Joe Gilbert's personal opinions. And I try to stay disciplined and follow the rules, but these are not my opinions of what should be. No, okay? The rules aren't based on anyone's personal opinions for that matter. And the rules aren't based on the so-called experts in Wall Street, all right? So here's the deal. Investors Business Daily built models of the most successful stocks each year from 1880 till now, over 100 years. They studied what common factors existed before these great winners had large advances, and they studied how things changed and how the stocks behaved when they started to top out. So, ladies and gentlemen, these rules show exactly how the stock market works. That's a critical point, listeners. CANSLIM is based on how the market actually works, not some ivory tower academic theory. They weren't made up by some college professor. They're rules based on studying all the best stocks. And let me be clear, okay? If you ignore these rules I'm going to tell you and rely on personal opinions, feelings, tips, or emotions, you're essentially arguing with how the market has behaved for 100 years. And you'll likely make many, many more costly mistakes. All right, listeners? What I want you to learn on how to invest in a new America is how to invest with real knowledge and confidence and with discipline, okay? And history is a great teacher. All right, so I want all my listeners to learn from history. Again, I'm giving you professional, detailed information about how you can get better at investing in stocks, okay? So today, here are Investors Business Daily's 20 rules for your investment success, all right? Rule number 1, first, consider buying stocks which eat with each of the last 3 years' earnings up 25% or more and return on equity of 17% and recent quarterly earnings and sales accelerating. All right, that's rule number 1. You want the last 3 years to be up at least 25%. You want to show a return on equity of at least 17%. And if it's a perfect world, you want the earnings and sales to be accelerating. And by that, it can be 10%, 20, 30, as long as the rate is accelerating. All right, that's rule number 1. The second rule is the recent quarterly earnings and sales should be up 25% or more. Okay, so you want the last 3 years to be up. That's rule number 1 with 17% return on equity. And you also, on rule number 2, you want the recent quarterly earnings and sales to be up a minimum 25%, preferably 40% or more. I don't like to buy stocks that don't show 50% growth rate in the last 3 or 5 years and 50% in the last couple of quarters. All right, so those are rule number 1 and 2. The third rule, avoid low-quality stocks. Listeners, buy stocks that are $15 or $20 or $100 or higher. All right, stay out of the junk pile, okay? That's the third rule. The fourth rule is get and use charts to spot sound chart bases and exact buy points, all right? And you want to confine your buys to proper points as the stock emerges into new high ground on big volume increases. All right, so those are the first 4 rules that IBD's 20 rules for investment success. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more learning on how to invest in a new America on AM 1510 KSPA and AM 1450 KFSD, Financial News and Talk. Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it takes off in price? Studying models of past big winners can give you a much clearer picture of what you're looking for in future potential big winners. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, a stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. How are you going to know if a stock you're considering to buy right now could be a future big winner if you don't know what these great winners of the past look like? Make sense? Call me at 888-668-9562 for a free copy of my model book I call Profiles of a New America. If you're unhappy with your broker and you want to work with a new broker who has 27 years of battlefield experience, as well as some fresh ideas to help get you back on track, then call me at 888-668-9562 or log on at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. If what you're doing isn't working, then try my fresh ideas and a great new system. And don't forget to tune in every day for How to Invest in a New America from 4 to 5, right here on 1510 AM, Financial News and Talk. Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC.
This is Financial News and Talk.
Markets, business, and the latest information. On Bloomberg, there's absolutely no alternative.
AM 1450, AM 1510.
Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it has a dramatic rise in price? Knowing what to look for can definitely give you an edge. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, an independent institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities and host of How to Invest in a New America. For more than a quarter of a century, I've focused on a strict discipline of looking through thousands of stock charts every weekend, looking for timely ideas for my clients. If you believe in the importance of a disciplined approach that combines fresh new idea generation, managed with passion and focus, then call me at 888-668-9562 and experience the difference for yourself. Again, if you're looking for a new broker who can help you navigate the ups and downs of the market and you want experience, discipline, passion, and focus, then I'm your man. Call me at 888-668-9562 and find out what my 27 years of battlefield experience can do for you. My direct helpline is 888-668-9562. I'm Joe Gilbert, a licensed representative with Newport Coast Securities, encouraging you to get educated and go for it. Securities offered through Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. All righty, I'm back with you again. If you're just tuning in, the show is all about helping you become an educated and more informed investor. You're listening to How to Invest in a New America. I'm your host, Joseph Gilbert. I'm an independent stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. I'm glad you could join me, ladies and gentlemen. Now repeat after me. Every day, in every way, I'm learning more and more about the stock market. All right, it feels good, doesn't it? So this is a question I asked at the beginning of the show. Are you happy with your performance on the battlefield? Now, listeners, I believe this is true. I know it's true. There's no luck in the stock market. All right, there's no luck in the market. You either know what you're doing or you don't, and the results are what give you the answer, okay? So if you want to improve, I've been going over IBD's 20 rules for investment success. Now, this is right out of the paper, friends. I'm not making this stuff up, but I know it works, and that's why I'm talking about it. So I talked about the first 4 rules. Let's go to rule number 5. That's cut every loss when it's 8% below your cost. Make no exceptions on this rule. Cut every loss when it's 8% below your cost. So you'll absolutely avoid any huge damaging losses, and never average down in price. All right, that's rule number 5. Never average down in price and cut every loss when it's 8% below your cost. Rule number 6 says follow selling rules on when to sell and take your profit. You got to have sell rules. Review the selling sections in the book, How to Make Money in Stocks, A Winning System in Good Times or Bad by William O'Neill. Now, that's rule number 6, all right? Review the selling sections in the book, How to Make Money in Stocks, A Winning System in Good Times or Bad by William O'Neill. I want all my listeners to get that book. If you're having a rough time in the market, go get William O'Neill's book, How to Make Money in Stocks, A Winning System in Good Times or Bad by William O'Neill. I know it can help you. If you have any questions about that system, you can call me live on the air and get your questions answered. So that's the 6th rule in IBD's 20 rules, is follow selling rules and learn how to sell and take your profit. Review the selling selections in the book, How to Make Money in Stocks. All right, rule number 7 is buy when the market indexes are in an uptrend, and reduce your investments and raise cash if the general market shows 6 days of increased volume distribution. Now, this is critical, okay? So you watch what the market is doing every day. You can't afford to miss these distribution days. Now, if you're new to the term distribution day, distribution is what I've told you before, is when the market is down and the volume is up from the previous day. That's bad, all right? So rule number 7, IBD says reduce your investments and raise cash if the indexes have 6 distribution days, okay? Everybody with me on this? So that you can learn how to recognize major tops and bottoms in the general market averages. You definitely can and most certainly should learn how to do this. Now, I'm going to go over this, how to interpret the general market, this Saturday as part of my free seminar. All right, if you want to sign up for that, you can call my office at 888-668-9562. Again, I'm going to go over how to interpret the general market, how to read charts, We'll do the buy side, some buy rules and sell rules. It's going to be a great learning experience. It's free for all the listeners, no obligation. You just need to call my office or log on to the internet and sign up. My office number is 888-668-9562. That's this Saturday morning. Or you can register on the internet at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Or you can email me any of your questions, or you can sign up through email as well at jgilbert@NC, that stands for Newport Coast, ncsecurities.com. Now, rule number 8 is read Investors Business Daily's Investors Corner section and big picture columns every day. That's rule number 8. Read the Investors Corner and the big picture columns. Now, these are great sections that'll help to accelerate your learning curve. You know, there's so much information in Investors Business Daily. You know, I like to think of it as the ultimate software program that's in print. It comes out every day, and it's just like a software program. Once you learn how to take the information out of the paper, that's important. But rule number 8 is read the Investors Corner and the big picture column. They're great learning sections that'll help you to accelerate your learning curve so that you can learn how to recognize major tops and bottoms in the market. And you definitely can and should learn how to do this, friends. And I just want to mention it again. This Saturday in my office in Irvine, a free seminar. I'll be going over how to read charts, buy and sell rules, and how to interpret the general market. That way you can know for yourself. All right? You need to learn this stuff for yourself. You don't need to read newsletters and listen to anyone else. You need to know this stuff. It's critical, friends. You need to know, and if you want to be successful at stock speculation, you need to know this information. So call my office, 888-668-9562. Again, 888-668-9562. If you have a couple hours, we start around 9 o'clock and we'll go to noon on this Saturday morning. Actually, I'm having the same class every Saturday morning, okay? So if you miss it this Saturday, you can catch it next, but you have to register by calling 888-668-9562 or log on the internet at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. And pretty soon the website will be up and running completely. All my shows will be archived there, plus a lot of educational content. That's howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Or you can email me at jgilbert@ncsecurities.com. Now remember, I've been watching the market every day like a hawk for my clients for 27 years. I've had a daily and weekly routine of practicing all the things that I talk about on the show for 27 years. So if you're new, use me as your coach. I'm very good at what I do, and I'd love to help you. So come to my seminar and meet with me, and I'll share my experience with you free of charge, all right? Let's take another break. I'm Joe Gilbert. This is How to Invest in a New America. I'm all about education here, okay? So this is How to Invest in a New America. Stick with me. I'll be right back with more learning on how to invest in a new America right here on AM 1510, KSPA, and AM 1450, KFSD, Financial News and Talk. Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it has a dramatic rise in price? Knowing what to look for can definitely give you an edge. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, an independent institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities and host of How to Invest in a New America. For more than a quarter of a century, I've focused on a strict discipline of looking through thousands of stock charts every weekend, looking for timely ideas for my clients. If you believe in the importance of a disciplined approach that combines fresh new idea generation, managed with passion and focus, then call me at 888-668-9562 and experience the difference for yourself. Again, if you're looking for a new broker who can help you navigate the ups and downs of the market and you want experience, discipline, passion, and focus, then I'm your man. Call me at 888-668-9562 and find out what my 27 years of battlefield experience can do for you. My direct helpline is 888-668-9562. I'm Joe Gilbert, a licensed representative with Newport Coast Securities, encouraging you to get educated and go for it. Securities offered through Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC.
is financial news and talk.
Markets, business, and the latest information. On Bloomberg, there's absolutely no alternative.
AM 1450, AM 1510.
Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it takes off in price? Studying models of past big winners can give you a much clearer picture of what you're looking for in future potential big winners. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, a stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. How are you going to know if a stock you're considering to buy right now could be a future big winner if you don't know what these great winners of the past look like? Make sense? Call me at 888-668-9562 for a free copy of my model book I call Profiles of a New America. If you're unhappy with your broker and you want to work with a new broker who has 27 years of battlefield experience, as well as some fresh ideas to help get you back on track, then call me at 888-668-9562 or log on at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. If what you're doing isn't working, then try my fresh ideas and a great new system. And don't forget to tune in every day for How to Invest in a New America from 4 to 5, right here on 1510 AM, Financial News and Talk. Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. All right, I'm back with you again. I believe the best investor is an informed investor. So you're listening to How to Invest in a New America. I'm your host, Joe Gilbert. I'm an independent institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. Listeners, there is no luck in the stock market. You either know what you're doing or you don't, and the results are what give you the answer, all right? So if you're into improvement, like I am, I believe in continuous improvement. Now, I've been going over Investors Business Daily's 20 rules for investment success. This is right out of the newspaper, friends. I'm not making this stuff up, but I know it works, and so that's why I'm talking about it. Education in the market can be really expensive, all right? I don't know about you, but I'm sick of paying tuitions to the University of Wall Street, all right? Are you sick of paying those tuitions? Well, listen up, friends. Here's rule number 9. Buy stocks with a composite rating of 90 or more and a relative strength of 85 or more. Now, what you're looking for are the very best stocks. The best, okay? Not the cheapest. The measurements of composite rating and relative strength are proprietary, and you can only find them in Investors Business Daily. But they're a critical part of the stock picking process. All right, so rule number 9, you want composite ratings of 90 or more and relative strength of 85 or more. All right, rule number 10, pick companies in which management owns stock. All right, listen, you want management to have a stake in the company, so their interests are aligned with yours. Make sense? All right, so that's rule number 10. Pick companies that management owns stock in. All right, you want the management to have a stake in the company that you're buying, or at least the company you're considering to buy. Make sense? All right, number 11, consider bold-faced stocks in IBD's new high list and NASDAQ stocks on the move. Now, these are two sections of the paper that I look at every single day. You've got to be looking at the new high list and the NASDAQ stocks on the move. There's about 30 charts in there. There's actually New York stocks as well, but they're definitely something that you want to look at every single day, and that's rule number 11 on Investors Business Daily's 20 rules for investment success. Every day I look at the new high list and the 30 stocks on the move. Are you spending the required time it takes to make money in the market? Listen, friends, I say this a lot. It's really true, but it's the time you spend after 9 to 5 every single day and on weekends that'll ultimately determine your performance when you get onto the battlefield. All right, now, if you think you're going to sit around and drink beer and watch TV every night and figure out something as complex and complicated as the U.S. economy and the stock market, listen to your coach. It ain't going to happen. All right? Now, I'm not saying spend hours and hours every night, but if you want to be successful, you have to have a daily and weekly routine of studying. I've been doing this daily and weekly routine for more than a quarter of a century. So if you aren't willing to do it, then find someone like me who is doing it and can help you. All right, that's rule number 11. Rule number 12, select stocks with increasing institutional sponsorship. Remember, friends, institutions dominate the market. They're the ones that decide what the price of the stock's going to be. So you've got to have at least 1% fund sponsorship at a minimum. Now, most funds don't buy cheap stocks, right? So they stick with quality. Now, again, rule number 12 is select stocks with increasing institutional sponsorship. Now, I like it when you go back 4 quarters, and each quarter moving forward, the number of funds in your stock increase. I've been talking about Michael Kors on and off the last couple of weeks. I own the stock. I was buying some of it yesterday. But listen to the progression of the funds owning that stock. Now, I'm going to go back for 6 quarters. 272, 323, 339, 474. That's a huge jump in the number of funds in the quarter. It went from 339 to 474. Now 537, and last quarter was 576 mutual funds. Now I'm talking about, this is in the number of funds owning the stock. All right, rule number 12 was buy stocks that have increasing fund sponsorship. So you want to look back at least 4 quarters and see that, each quarter there's new funds buying the stock. Now, those numbers I just gave you, that was for the past 6 quarters on Michael Kors. But look at the jump in the number of funds 4 quarters ago. It went from 339 funds to 474 funds owning the stock. That's a huge jump in the number of institutional elephants jumping into the bathtub, ladies and gentlemen. So ask yourself this question: why did 135 new mutual funds buy into Michael Kors? Well, it's probably the 58% 5-year growth rate or the 58% return on equity. Maybe it was the 8 quarters of increasing sales and earnings. Huge sales figures too. And no debt. Last quarter, they beat the estimates only by 60%. Right, that's a huge win. Last quarter, I think, was estimated at 40 cents. Michael Kors came in at 64 cents. It was 60% above the estimates. So again, rule number 12, select stocks with increasing institutional sponsorship. Now let's look at Celgene. I don't know if any of my listeners are familiar with Celgene, but it's a big leading biotech stock. Now listen to the number of funds in this particular stock: 1,484. 1,534, 1,583, 1,618, 1,629. You see how it's increasing every quarter? 1,677, 1,740, and last quarter, 1,796 different mutual funds own the stock. So in the last 6 months, this is on Celgene, by the way. Symbol on that is CELG. If you're not familiar, it's part of the New America, friends. But in the last 6 months, you had 119 new elephants buying the stock. I just bought a little bit of Celgene this last week or so as it was bouncing off the 50-day line for the first time. But you want increasing fund sponsorship in the stocks you select. Makes sense? All right, that's rule number 12. You want to have increasing institutional sponsorship, and you can find out and go back 4 or 5 quarters and see if the funds are increasing each quarter. Really important, critical piece of the investment process. All right, rule number 13. Current quarterly after-tax margins should be improving, nearing their peak and among the best in the industry. I'll repeat that. Rule number 13. Current quarterly after-tax margins should be improving, near their peak and among the best in its industry. All right, that's rule 13. Rule 14, don't buy stocks or don't select stocks based on dividends or PE ratios. Read a stock story on investors.com. And also, as part of rule number 14, buy the number 1 stock in an industry group with respect to earnings and sales growth, return on equity, profit margins, and product quality. All right, stick with leaders. PE ratios are meaningless. Okay, I'm serious. PE ratios, absolutely meaningless. At least for me, I never look at the PE. Remember, if you aren't willing to pay 25 or 50 times earnings, then you automatically eliminated many of the biggest winners. So forget the PE. Remember, friends, everything sells for what it's worth at that particular time and point in the stock market. And PEs are not an indicator for future price appreciation. All right, they're irrelevant. Now that's a fact. It's not my opinion. Okay, rule number 15. Pick companies with a unique, superior new product or service that leads its industry. Almost all the biggest leaders have something new and different. All right, now you got to have something new going on. It's not the big old America. It's not the big old companies. It's not the DuPonts and the Sears and the IBM and the General Motors. That's the old America. Listen, friends, everybody knows about Sears, Government Motors, or IBM. That's the old America, okay? It's the new America. Companies like Celgene or Regeneron or 3D Systems or Michael Kors. The new companies with new products, new services, new technologies, new concepts, new. In other words, the first thing you want to ask is, what do they got that's new and far better? You with me on this, ladies and gentlemen? New. Do they have some new gizmo that saves a great deal of money or saves a great deal of time or works a lot faster? Maybe it enables technology to function better. Okay, but new, all right? That's rule number 15. You want to pick new companies with a unique, superior product or service that's leading in its industry. Almost all the big leaders have something new and different. All right, very important. First thing you want to ask yourself is, what do they got that's new and far better? Everybody with me on that? You got to have something new. That's rule number 15, according to Investors Business Daily. Now, rule number 16 is stick with the new America. Pay close attention to IPOs that occurred in the past 10 to 15 years. In other words, newer companies. All right, everybody knows Sears, General Motors, and IBM. But how many of my listeners ever heard about Mercado Libre or Regeneron or Stratasys or Proto Labs or 3D Systems? These are some of the stocks I've been talking about on the show. X1. How many of my listeners know about any of these companies? Listen, I look at this stuff constantly, and there's so much new going on. It's just hard to keep up with it all. Now, listeners, I've told you this before, and I'll say it again. I really believe that we as investors have the same opportunities as the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and the Mellons had. We have the same opportunities to make money that they did. You know, if you don't believe me, go look at a chart on Regeneron Pharmaceutical. And the stock's up 100 points in the last month. All right, so rule number 16, stick with new companies. Stick with the new America and pay close attention to IPOs that have occurred in the last 10 to 15 years. All right, that's rule 16. Rule number 17, check out companies that are buying back 5 to 10% of their stock and those with new management. All right, so look for companies that are buying their own stock back, 5 to 10%, and those with new management. That's another part of the N in CANSLIM, new management. All right, that's important. That's rule number 17. Rule number 18 is don't try to bottom fish and don't buy on the way down. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen, all stocks are bad. They're all speculative and risky unless what? Unless they go up. That's right. All right, so all stocks are bad. Don't try to bottom fish or buy on the way down. They're all bad unless they go up. All right, so you don't want to buy on the way down. It's a very common mistake. You want to buy on the way up, okay? Buy high and sell higher. All right, that's rule number 18. Don't try to bottom fish or buy on the way down. And remember, they're all stocks, all investments carry substantial risk, and they're speculative. I don't care how big the dividend is. You can lose money in those stocks. In my opinion, there's only one good stock, and it's the one that's moving higher. All right, so that's rule number 18. Rule number 19, check to see if the current market favors big cap, mid cap, or small cap stocks. All right, you need to know what's in favor right now. Is it big cap, mid cap, or small cap? That's rule number 19. All right, I'm going to take another break. You're listening to How to Invest in a New America with Joe Gilbert. I've been going over IBD's 20 rules for investment success. Stick with me. We'll have more learning after the break on AM 1510 KSPA and AM 1450 KFSD Financial News and Talk. Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it takes off in price? Studying models of past big winners can give you a much clearer picture of what you're looking for in future potential big winners. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, a stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. How are you going to know if a stock you're considering to buy right now could be a future big winner if you don't know what these great winners of the past look like? Make sense? Call me at 888-668-9562 for a free copy of my model book I call Profiles of a New America. If you're unhappy with your broker and you want to work with a new broker who has 27 years of battlefield experience, as well as some fresh ideas to help get you back on track, then call me at 888-668-9562 or log on at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. If what you're doing isn't working, then try my fresh ideas and a great new system. And don't forget to tune in every day for How to Invest in a New America from 4 to 5, right here on 1510 AM, Financial News and Talk. Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC.
This is Financial News and Talk.
Markets, business, and the latest information. On Bloomberg, there's absolutely no alternative.
AM 1450, AM 1510.
Investors, do you know what a successful stock looks like before it has a dramatic rise in price? Knowing what to look for can definitely give you an edge. Hi, I'm Joe Gilbert, an independent institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities and host of How to Invest in a New America. For more than a quarter of a century, I've focused on a strict discipline of looking through thousands of stock charts every weekend, looking for timely ideas for my clients. If you believe in the importance of a disciplined approach that combines fresh new idea generation, managed with passion and focus, then call me at 888-668-9562 and experience the difference for yourself. Again, if you're looking for a new broker who can help you navigate the ups and downs of the market and you want experience, discipline, passion, and focus, then I'm your man. Call me at 888-668-9562 and find out what my 27 years of battlefield experience can do for you. My direct helpline is 888-668-9562. I'm Joe Gilbert, a licensed representative with Newport Coast Securities, encouraging you to get educated and go for it. Securities offered through Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. All righty, I'm back with you again. You're listening to How to Invest in a New America. I'm your host, Joe Gilbert. I'm an independent institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California. Now, if you're just tuning in, we've been going over Investors Business Daily's 20 rules for investment success. Now, I just want to repeat rule number 18. Don't try to bottom fish or buy on the way down. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, all stocks are bad. They're all speculative and risky unless they go up in price. All right, so we ended on rule number 19, which is check to see if the current market favors big cap, small cap, or mid cap. That's rule number 19. And the last rule, rule number 20, most important, do a post analysis of all your buys and sells. Post on charts where you bought and sold, and evaluate and develop your own rules to correct your major mistakes. Now, if you want to learn, it's what you learn after you think you know what you're doing that's most important, okay? So this is IBD's 20 rules for investment success. And it says in the paper, if all 20 fact-based rules are carefully followed, and not just the ones you like, your investment results can materially improve. Now, my motto is continuous improvement, and I'm a firm believer in developing intuition. Now, the way you develop intuition is by repetitious application of expert knowledge. And this is so true. These aren't my rules, friends. These are Investors Business Daily's 20 rules for investment success. Now, if you want to get better at investing in the market, you can do it, all right? It takes hard work, persistence, and discipline. And if you follow all 20 fact-based rules, I'm talking follow the rules carefully, not just the rules you agree with, but all 20 rules. If you do this, your results can improve dramatically. But you have to work at acquiring the knowledge and then have the discipline to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. Now, that's two whole different things, right? Right, listeners? It's not enough to know exactly what you're supposed to do. Once you know that, then you have to acquire the discipline to actually do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. I hope I'm making sense. But here's an example. Most people won't buy stocks at high prices. So we know that to buy when you have the highest odds for success, we know that it's when it's coming out of a base and in new highs. So if you know that, now what happens when the stock jumps up 80 cents and trades through the buy point? That's when you have to have the discipline to step up and act, okay? You got to act. You can't vacillate and hem and haw. It's at the buy point. So you got to acquire the discipline to actually implement the strategy, okay? I hope I'm being clear. You got to have rules, know what they are, and then you got to have the discipline to step up and act on it, okay? If you're having a rough time with discipline, if you need a new trading partner with some fresh ideas and some new thinking to get you back on track, you can call me at 888-668-9562. Again, 888-668-9562. Or log on to my website. I'm having a seminar this Saturday and every Saturday. You can register at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. That's HOWTOINVESTINANEWAMERICA.com. howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Now, these 20 rules I just discussed, if you want to get a copy of these, you can call my office as well, 888-668-9562, or just read Investors Daily. These rules are posted in there every day. But if you have any needs or questions, you can email me any questions at jgilbert@ncsecurities.com. Now, if you want to spend a quality 3 hours this Saturday morning, I'll show you how to read charts and interpret professional buying and selling. You can clearly see this on Charts, friends. That's this Saturday morning. I'll be live and in person at my office in Irvine, teaching you about how to read charts and what to look for when buying. I'll go over the general market, what to look for when selling. Ladies and gentlemen, it's completely free. All right, I have nothing to sell you. I just want to help you to get better at this battle for investment survival, okay? So if you want to spend a few hours this Saturday morning with a 27-year veteran warrior in the battle, I've been watching the market all day, every day for 27 years. You can join me this Saturday for a free seminar. I'll have some drinks and snacks, and we can all learn together. All right, sound good? Call me at 888-668-9562, or you can log on to my website at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Again, for the free seminar this Saturday from 9 to noon at my office in Irvine, 888-668-9562, or you can email me at jgilbert@ncsecurities.com. Yeah, but you have to register. I need to know how many people are coming. You can also log on the internet and register at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Boy, I sure love this stuff. Talking about the stock market gets my blood flowing. Can y'all tell? All right, so if you like what you hear and you want to find out if maybe what I do for my clients is something that could work to your advantage, then by all means, call me personally at 888-668-9562. All right, I'm not selling anything, friends. I'm looking for new clients, individuals that realize this new America I'm talking about is real, and the opportunities to make money are huge. So I want to work with people who agree with me that the opportunities are out there, but they don't have the time to keep up with it all. And I can coach and teach you something completely different and use strict discipline and explain to you how the whole thing works. Makes sense? My ideas are institutional quality. I've got 27 years of trading experience. So I'm not a jack of all trades for sure, but I have mastered one particular system, and I've concentrated all my efforts on learning and perfecting the CANSLIM system. So that said, to all the listeners, if you want to work with a broker who has an intense passion, I love the market. All right, 27 years experience, and I have the ability to show you good new ideas. All right, broker who can keep you disciplined and sticking to a system and get you in and out of the market. That's me. All right, what I'm looking for is new trading partners. So if you're having a difficult time with your investments, if you're unhappy with your broker and you want a new trading partner with some fresh ideas and some fresh thinking, then call me at 888-668-9562. Again, 888-668-9562. 9562. Or you can log on to my website at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. And I'd be more than happy to share with you my 27 years of trading experience and explain how my services can help you in the market. I could give you referrals of past clients and outline how together we can move forward in a positive manner for your benefit. Okay, if that sounds good, you can call my office, 888-668-9562. Again, 888-668-9562. Now, my seminar is this Saturday. It's 3 hours long. We start at 9. We go till noon. If you want to learn how to read charts, maybe if you're new to this system, I can promise you an educational experience that you won't forget. And you can log on at the internet at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. That's HOWTOINVESTINANEWAMERICA.com. How to invest in a newamerica.com, all one word. I know it's long, but it's the name of my show, and the website was available, so I took it. And now, right now, the website's not finished, but it will be very shortly. Then you can log on and listen to a lot of my past shows and get some educational content. Anytime I have new ideas, I'll be posting them on the site, so you could check back for that. All right, but the seminar is this weekend on Saturday. If you want to sign up for that, my number is 888-668-9562. Again, 888-668-9562. I'm looking for new clients, people who agree with me that this new America I'm talking about is real, and there's huge opportunity in the market. But they don't have time to keep up with it all. So I can coach and teach you something completely different. I use a strict discipline, and I can explain how the whole thing works. My ideas are institutional quality, and I've got 27 years of trading experience. All right, if you want to work with a broker who has an intense passion and 27 years experience and who goes through, I look through thousands of stock charts every single weekend without fail, looking for new ideas that are timely for my clients. All right, so if you want to work with a broker who has the ability to show you new investment ideas, who can keep you disciplined as far as what you're buying and when, and keep you sticking to a system and get you in and out of the market, that's me, all right? Give me a call if you're interested in working with a new broker. My number is 888-668-9562. All right, well, that's about all I have for today. I sure hope you're learning something new. I'm having a blast doing this show. Thanks for all your comments and kind words. I really do appreciate it. I believe in clarity, and this show is not about politics. I'm not, interviewing people's opinions. I'm trying to give you educational information that can get you to be a better investor. I believe the best investor is an informed investor. So stick with me every day from 4 to 5 for How to Invest in a New America. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. After 10 years and 2 very brutal bear markets, I believe now's the time to take hold of your financial future and start educating yourself. Hi, I'm Joseph Gilbert, an institutional stockbroker with Newport Coast Securities in Irvine, California, and host of How to Invest in a New America, heard daily from 4 to 5 here on KSPA and KFST. Unprecedented volatility has paralyzed investors. In fact, there are millions of investors just sitting on the sidelines watching as literally a parade of financial opportunities pass them by. For 27 years, I've been actively trading and advising both institutional and individual investors to my techno-fundamental approach. If you're having a tough time with the stock market and you need a new trading partner with some fresh ideas to help get you back on track, then call me at 888-668-9562 or log on at howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. The number again is 888-668-9562 or howtoinvestinanewamerica.com. Call me and let me help you get back on track. Newport Coast Securities, member FINRA, SIPC.
Financial news and talk. AM 1450 KFSD Escondido. AM 1510 KSPA Ontario. Astor Broadcast Group stations.